Must be happy then with today's news. What are your feelings?
Incredibly happy. I mean, I think he should have been released today, and hopefully he will on Wednesday. But he's had almost 10 years of that mental torture that wears you down, and he needs respite. He needs out of there. It is horrendous what's happened.
Did you expect it to turn out like this? Are you surprised with the ruling?
Completely surprised, and I think brave judge. And I'm really proud of someone who stood up for justice. And I don't think they should appeal, because it looks very bad for them to do that, especially as they won't extradite Anne Secoulis, who killed Harry Dunn, who was knocked down when she came out of the barracks, the American barracks in London, driving on the wrong side of the road. She didn't call the police. She didn't call the emergency services. She left a boy to die, and they won't extradite her back here. But yet they think we should extradite Julian Assange for exposing a war crime. It's completely bonkers.
Can you give us an idea of what toll this takes on the families of those facing extradition? What has Assange's family been through? And of course, what did you go through?
You don't only lose 10 years of your life. It's all you think about every single night, every single morning. You are in terror. You're in terror of your son or partner, whatever it may be, father. You're in terror of them being dragged away to have to serve time without being proven guilty of anything, by the way. And you have to serve time in the most horrendous prisons, and knowing that you might well be left to die there for something that here you would be free, because basically whistleblowers should not be getting be too scared to speak up about things.
But of course the US thinks very differently, that no crime was committed, and of course it is now saying that it will appeal against this decision. So are you concerned about that?
Yes, I am. Well, not really. I think they can't do it. They'd look very bad if they did it, especially as they want extradite Anne Secoulis. How bad would that look? And also, this treaty is one-sided. America does not extradite anyone unless they're non-American or are a dual citizen. They do not extradite theirs, but they expect ours to just let them go regardless. We were told this treaty was for terrorism. This treaty has been used for anything but. And that's the problem. The treaty has to go, or this kind of thing is never going to end.
Well, you've been campaigning hard on this. Has your voice been heard across the pond, do you think? President Trump, or indeed Joe Biden, when he takes office, any chance that a pardon could be issued to Assange?
I tried very hard with President Trump, but nothing happened. I tried for Gary, because Gary couldn't see his father who was dying in Scotland, because what you forget is, even if you don't get extradited, you can't travel. You can't leave England. Julian Assange is Australian, so in a sense, part of his nightmare will always go on, because he won't be able to leave England. You can't even go to Wales. You can't go to Scotland. So people forget that, and that's another thing that carries on. But the relief of just not being sent to America is so great that to be in England is wonderful in any case, and that's where we live. Hopefully for Julian Assange, he could stay here and survive here perfectly well, which I'm sure he could.
This decision was made by the judge on the grounds of Julian Assange's mental health. And Gary, earlier, I don't know if we heard much of that from the extract of the interview, but when I had a long interview with him, he was saying despite what happened to him, and he's free to go about his business, that the toll on his mental health has continued.
It has. It's massive. That's the first interview Gary has done. Normally he avoids them like the plague, but because of Julian Assange, he wanted to speak out. And it does continue, and the fear, even it can be irrational, but it's sort of there, and you tend to kind of hide yourself away. It takes a lot to be able to start to come out and live your own life. It's very, very hard to do that. I think initially you just want to keep your head down, keep a low profile, hope no one notices you, but gradually you come out of that, and gradually you should, but that takes a long time.
Is that the sort of future, just finally, Janis, you envisage for Julian Assange? Keeping his head down and just gradually...
I'm not sure. Julian's got a different character, but he's got 2 children who desperately need him, and we need to give those kids back their dad. It's essential. They have to do this.